on to the steps in a disciplinary hearing. Daar is sekere stappe wat 'n mens gaan moet volg met die dissiplinêre verhoor en daar is 'n totaal van 13 stappe. And the process of handling these steps will greatly depend on the situation and the type of case the business is facing. As ons by 'n situasie kom waar die werknemer wat aangekla word sê hulle is skuldig, dan hoef jy nie die hele prosedure te volg nie. Want dit is nou klaar gesê, sorry, ek is skuldig, ek is vreeslik jammer, then we basically shorten this whole procedure and just move straight on to the sanction. But on the other hand, if the employee pleads not guilty, we need to go through all the steps in this procedure to make sure that it is substantively and procedurally fair. Okay, so kom ons kyk wat is die eerste stap. Die eerste stap is waar 'n verteenwoordiger van bestuur net seker maak almal is daar, hulle verwelkom vir almal, and then they hand over the hearing to the chairperson, who will then go through the motions with all the participants. The chairperson will ensure that all people requested to attend the hearing are present, and this will then be recorded by either the secretary or the tape recorder that they are making use of. Die chairperson gaan dan ook natuurlik vra of die persone genoeg tyd gehad het om voor te berei, and they will ascertain if the employee had objections to him or her serving as chairperson. So as die werknemer kan jy dan ook sê, ek is happy met die chairperson of ek is nie, especially when it's a case where the individual feel that that manager will victimize him even further, they can actually request another chairperson, maar dit moet natuurlik met regverdige rede wees. Dis alles stap 1. Wanneer ons kom by stap 2 is dit die complaints and the charges. Okay, so in this instance, the complaints and charges are read to the employee and the chairperson makes sure that the employee understands this. So baie keer is dit hierso nodig om 'n interpreteerder te kry of 'n vertaler, wat dan natuurlik vir die werknemer kan vertaal in die taal waarmee hy gemaklik is, wat die klagtes teen hom dan is. The employee must then answer to these complaints by saying either guilty or not guilty. As die persoon sê, okay, ek is skuldig, dan vergemaklik en verkort dit die proses aansienlik, like I've already mentioned, but if they say they're not guilty, we have to follow the rest of the procedures. They say if the employee pleads guilty, you have to skip steps 3 to 7. So jy kan 'n hele lot stappe dan nou spring en dan gaan jy aan na stap 8 toe. Now this is very important in the case of a case study, so they can give you a scenario and they can then say, alright, this employee pled guilty, and then the question might be, discuss the disciplinary procedure the business will follow in this scenario. Dan moet jy weet, hierdie ou het klaar gesê hy is skuldig, so jy kan nie die hele 13 stappe volg nie. You follow steps 1 and 2, you skip steps 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then you move over to steps 8. Okay, so wees versigtig daar veral met jou gevalle studies. Okay, so as die persoon dan nou sê not guilty, then we move over to step 3, where the actual hearing procedure will start. The hearing procedure will then be explained to all the parties. Dis jou chairperson's job. Hy maak seker dat almal dan nou verstaan hoe die prosedure kan wees, and then he will reconfirm the rights of the employee. Aan die ander word jy het die reg tot 'n verteenwoordiger, jy het die reg tot getuies wat jy kan roep. You have the right to make use of the interpreter. Daar gaan cross-examining plaasvind, ensovoorts ensovoorts. After step 3, we give the employer the case to state their case, and in this case it's normally the line manager of the employee wat dan die klag teen die werknemer bring na die tafel toe, and they will also call various witnesses, question these witnesses, and then they will give the employee the chance to cross-examine. So jy as werknemer kan ook dan nou, jy of jou verteenwoordiger kan dan nou die vraag aan die witnesses van die employer ook vra, sou dit nodig wees. No witness can ask questions on their own. Then after step 4, we move to step 5, and this is where the employee states their case, they bring their witnesses, and they call their questions to these witnesses, etc. En dan alles gaan hierso oor, het hulle bewyse dat hulle onskuldig is. Okay. After step 5, it's the summary in step 6, waar beide partye, die verteenwoordiger van die besigheid en die verteenwoordiger van die werknemer dan in kort net gaan opsom. Dit is die situasie, and thereafter there will be a finding of guilty or not guilty. Okay? In most cases the hearing will adjourn first, so your chairperson gaan dan nou al die inligting vat, al die bewyse vat, en hy gaan vir 'n rukkie een kant, hy gaan weer deur die bewyse gaan en dan gaan hy besluit is die persoon skuldig of nie skuldig nie, based on the information that has been shared with him via the disciplinary hearing. Okay, then based on the balance of probabilities, whether the employee is guilty or not, that's a decision that the chairperson will make, and then they must make sure that the witnesses are reliable. So jou chairperson het regtig 'n baie groot verantwoordelikheid om regtig seker te maak dat wanneer hy sê skuldig, dat dit regverdig is. In step 8, the meeting is then adjourned, all the parties are called back, and the chairperson will then say, based on the evidence provided to me, I call this employee as being guilty or not guilty. Okay, so dis in stap 8, waar die werknemer dan gaan hoor is hulle skuldig of nie skuldig nie. And then if they are found guilty, they will allow the employee the chance to prepare mitigating factors. Mitigating factors is versagtende omstandighede. And then this will take place during a break. En dan gaan die chairperson ook besluit wat is die sanctions, wat is die straf wat aan die werknemer gegee gaan word. In step 9, the employee can now appeal for mitigation. So hulle kan dan nou die versagtende omstandighede deurgee en sê, maar dit is die redes en dit is my omstandighede, hou dit asseblief in ag. Thereafter will be step 10, where the decision on the type of sanction or punishment will be made. Dis 'n baie belangrike stap daai. Weer eens moet daar 'n breek wees in die vergadering, so that the chairperson can make a decision as to the sanction based on the mitigating and aggravating factors. En wat beteken dit? Mitigating is versagtende omstandighede van die perspektief van die werknemer, whereas aggravating factors comes from the employer's side. So as 'n werkgewer kan ons verergende omstandighede gee, soos byvoorbeeld jy het reeds 'n rekord, or you are a repeat offender, etc. So al daardie aspekte moet ook in ag geneem word. Thereafter, in step 11, the chairperson will give the sanction to the individual. Dis nou die straf, is it a warning, is it a suspension with or without pay, is it a dismissal, whatever the sanction will be. In step 12, it's an appeal procedure where the employee has the right to appeal the decision of the chairperson. And then the last step is documentation. Dit is waar die substantieve regverdigheid inkom, waar die besigheid moet seker maak dat genoeg bewyse en hulle die prosedure 100% gevolg en that everything has been documented. Okay, so julle kan gaan loer ook na bladsy 124, julle vir jou, wat is 'n dissiplinêre verhoor, hoe lyk dit in terme van jou bevindinge, and then in the next video, we'll continue talking about the appeal procedure as well as the various sanctions that can be imposed on the individual. Maar tot dan, bye!